Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we're here to consider 3 nominees for important roles in the Department of Defense. I welcome the nominees and their families, as the chair did. The Air Force and Space Force both possess insufficient capacity and capability to meet their growing mission sets. This is the case even as we march toward a state of maximum vulnerability in the Pacific. The last confirmed appointee to the post that Ms. Dalton has been selected for failed to focus on this challenge. He created division in our military instead of prioritizing readiness and modernization. If Ms. Dalton is confirmed, I hope she will not do the same. Regrettably, her performance in her position gives me pause. While she has been at the post, the Department of Defense was caught flat-footed as a Chinese surveillance balloon traversed the continental United States and flew over military sites. When Congress sought more information, she, along with others in the department, evaded constitutionally authorized oversight. Nearly a year later, we're still learning new facts about that episode. I'm also concerned about Ms. Dalton's handling of the Pentagon's responsibilities at our southwestern border. At one point, the Department of Defense was spending $130,000 every day to store instead of use border wall construction materials. They had already been manufactured, they were ready, and yet we were spending $130,000 every day to store them. Meanwhile, illegal immigration broke records. Later, we found out that the Department of Defense had initiated a process in which these panels would be auctioned for pennies on the dollar, a clear effort to circumvent emerging congressional intent. As the Finish It Act was being added to the NDAA. That act was added to the NDAA, is now the law of the land. Ms. Dalton also failed to deliver the Homeland Defense planning guidance until the end of 2023, over a year after the release of the National Defense Strategy. This track record casts a shadow on this nomination. But on top of it all, she has virtually no experience with the Air Force. Ms. Dalton needs to address what she will bring to this position and what she has learned from the mistakes in the current and prior roles. Now, briefly, Mr. Chairman, if confirmed, Dr. Erickson would help keep the U.S. military technology a step ahead of our adversaries. The Pentagon relies on American universities for early stage research and development, but today it works primarily with major universities in just a few states. I hope Dr. Erickson will advocate for the Department of Defense taking advantage of the talent, capabilities, and expertise found at research institutions from coast to coast, not just a select few. And then with regard to Dr. Schmidt, if confirmed, he will have his work cut out for him. This role has grown and is now responsible for the certification of all middle-tier acquisition programs. These programs increase the speed at which the U.S. prototypes and fields new systems. And they use novel testing methods for certain software acquisition pathway programs. These are exciting developments, but new systems often require new processes. The testing community could find it challenging to support the iterative testing these systems require, particularly where the lines between development and fielding are blurred. So I look forward to hearing how Dr. Schmidt will promote best practices and support rapid acquisition pathways in this ever-changing area. So thank you all for being here, and I look forward to your testimony.